everyone, welcome back to Paper Therapy with Amy and welcome to my craft room. I have a video for you today, a bit of a Canva tutorial on how to make a title on Canva. I'm just showing you one particular title that I came up with for you to see how to work the different elements in Canva. I was hesitant to make this video. I promised it a long time ago and then I haven't been following through because I'm by no means a Canva expert. I've just played around with it, and I think that's what you have to do with these types of programs. I have the free version of Canva, and I just use what's available for fonts and backgrounds for free on there. And I enjoy it, and everybody seemed to really like the title I made for my page for the celebration for Julie's subscribers. So that was my last video. And so I wanted to share with you how I use Canva. And so I have one title to make with you today, and then I'll pop back in afterwards to talk about how it turned out and what I printed on. And just for your information, I have a MacBook Air. That's what I'm using. But I think it's relatively the same on most programs. And I do actually do a lot of Canva on my phone, which is also an Apple. But it is a little bit tricky for me to do the screen recording for you because I often use my phone, so it's a little bit different on the computer. But I worked it out and I think you'll be happy to learn a little bit about it. So here in Canva, we're going to create a design and we're going to make a custom design. So if we go down on the left here, we have custom design and we have to make it to the measurements 8.5 by 11. Make sure you change it to inches here or it will be the wrong size. So once you have an 8.5 by 11, that gives you a better idea of how big your design is going to be, but you can also turn on these rulers. If you go under File and Settings, make sure that's checked, and then you can see how big, like you can see your 8.5 by 11 paper. Now we're going to go to Elements, and I want to choose this geotag here, but I also want to show you where that is. If you search under Elements, Frame, you'll see all these selections and you'll see these frames here that look like they have this grassy field and some clouds. Well, these frames, you can drop any picture, a Canva picture or one of your own pictures into these frames. So that's kind of fun. If we scroll all the way down, we can find those geotags. So we'll click on this one here. And not every image has the option to change its color, but this one does. You can see that red dot there. That tells us that we can change the color. I'm showing you here the size so that you can kind of see the measurements of how big this is. Now let's change this color to gray. So now I want to drop an image in there and I'm going to go back to Elements to find an image that I want to drop in there. Now you'll need to look under Images under Elements if you want to put an image in here. And so I have one already in my recently used here that I found before. And I like this circle. I think it's going to fit nicely in there. So you drag it up on there. You see it pops in there and you just let it fall in there. And then you need to use this crop element right here. And that way you can move it around in there and have whatever part you want showing in the frame. And you can stretch it a little bigger. So I'm just going to spend a couple seconds here getting it situated the way I want it so it looks good. So I like that, and I think that looks pretty good. Now I want to add a text box. So I'm going to hit text here and add text box, and I'm going to type in here the word world. I'm going to use all caps. And once I have that typed up, I want to make it larger. So you can just stretch it out by pulling on the corner here. And then you can change the font. I'm going to change it to this Anton font. I want it to be bold. And I'm also going to change the color once I get it put to where I want it. You have to just, this little cross, that's what you use to move it around. So let's change the color to white. So I'm going to go here to this A with the little rainbow under it. And I'm going to pick white, and I don't think it shows up great, but there is a way to fix that. You can add a drop shadow. So I'm going to go to Effects and add shadow, and then I'm going to change that shadow. It's white right now, so I'm going to change it to dark gray, and you can see that that just pops right off the page once you have that set up that way. So let's raise it up a little bit, and now we're going to add a second text box. This one, I'm going to type the word wonderful with just a capital W. The rest is going to be lowercase. And then I'm going to change that to a more scripty font. I had like this apricots here. And we'll move that up so it kind of overlaps it a little bit. I think it needs to be a little higher in there. So I'll just play with it again, just get it the way I like it. So once I have that all situated, then I want to change the picture in the background a little bit, just edit it to be not quite so bold so that the title stands out a little more. So the way to do that is to click on here and then we're going to go to edit. And then I'm going to pick under these preset little filters, I'm going to go down and there's a vintage one and there's one that's called soft. And you can change the intensity on that. So it doesn't have to be the intensity means you have more or less of that filter as to how you like it. So once that's all done, I'm pretty happy with how this looks. So I think it's time to print it out. I'm going to go over to download and I'm going to download it and I'm going to make sure I change this file setting. I want to change it to PDF print. I think it'll print other ways as well, but that's what I like to use the best. And it's going to pop up here asking me where I want to put it. And I'm just going to put it on my desktop so I'm not looking for it. So then I'm going to go over to my desktop. Here it is. And I'm going to double click on it. And I'm going to go up to File. Now I'm going to do something that's quite important for the size. You need to click this little button that says scale. You do not want it to scale to fit because then you're not going to get the size that it was on your own document. And then you want to put in there 100%. That's the scale you want. You just want the full size. And so when it prints out, it's going to print how it was scaled on your document that you made that was 8.5 by 11. Okay, here's my computer with Canva open, and you can see here that they've shaded it darker. When this is selected, you can see that it's shaded darker here, where telling you the size of it. And you have to remember here that we're starting at 1, not at 0. So that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit inches, right? So let's see if it prints true to size when I print it out. So here is my ruler. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit. So it does. It prints it exactly the size that it is on the Canva document. So here is that finished product. I think it turned out pretty fun. It's a lot rounder geotag than the ones I created in that tutorial a while back. If you haven't seen that video, then I'll link it after this one and you can watch how I make my own geotags. So you could create your own geotag and then just create this as a circle and put it underneath. But I think it's a really fun little title, and I think you could make a second one and just do black writing of your journaling. This is just printer paper, like this inexpensive copy paper. If I was going to use, or if I was going to put this on a layout, I would obviously use cardstock. You can get 8.5 by 11 white cardstock from Stampin' Up, or I'm sure from Amazon. But if you don't have that, one thing that does work is I'll sometimes print this in a draft and then I will glue a rectangle of white from a piece of 12 by 12 cut down over top of this, and then I'll be sure to feed it back into the printer the same way that it came through. So on my printer, it means it has to go down like this, upside down, like into the back. And then when I feed it in that way, it'll just print right over top of this, and I'll have it in exactly the right spot. So yeah, I don't know if I have much more to say about it, but I think it's a pretty fun little title, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you'll hit that thumbs up and you'll subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you all next time here on YouTube. Bye!